BTS's V crowned as the King of Vogue Fashion in the United States 2025. The world of fashion has always been ruled by icons, those whose presence alone redefines trends, reshapes creativity, and shifts global perceptions of beauty. But in 2025, the crown of modern elegance and global fashion influence has found a new ruler. His name? Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. The moment Vogue USA declared him the King of Vogue Fashion, the internet didn't just buzz, it exploded. From New York to Paris, Seoul to Milan, his name lit up every corner of the fashion universe, signaling not just a recognition of style, but a cultural revolution led by one man who transcends music, fashion, and art itself. Taehyung's coronation as Vogue's king wasn't merely about clothing or runway appearances. It was about attitude, aura, and authenticity, the very essence of what makes fashion powerful. In the last few years, his influence has quietly evolved from that of a beloved K-pop idol into an international force, an individual who walks into a room and changes its energy. And Vogue, known for its discerning eye and decades of setting the global tone in luxury and style, saw what millions already believed. Taehyung isn't following fashion, he is fashion. The Vogue moment that broke the internet when Vogue USA released its special 2025 February cover, featuring V in a bold, gender-fluid ensemble that blended classic menswear tailoring with an ethereal silk overcoat. The internet melted. The cover photo, captured by legendary photographer Stephen Klein, portrayed Taehyung in a cinematic pose, his gaze soft yet commanding, his posture relaxed yet royal. It was not just a photo shoot. It was a statement of power wrapped in quiet sophistication. Within minutes of the release, hashtags like hashtag King Vogue V, hashtag Taehyung Fashion King, and hashtag Vogue with V dominated X, formerly Twitter. Armies, fashion critics, and even fellow celebrities could not stop talking about how the BTS member had rewritten what it means to be stylish in a modern, inclusive world. Fashion columnist Renee Astor of Vogue New York called it the most influential Vogue cover of the decade, describing V as a visionary whose understanding of self-expression through fashion transcends borders, gender, and time. From idol to icon, Taehyung's fashion evolution. To understand how Taehyung arrived at this monumental moment, one has to look back. From BTS's debut in 2013, Taehyung had always stood out, not just for his deep voice or striking visuals, but for his unique sense of individuality. Whether he appeared in streetwear during the group's early days or in avant-garde pieces at luxury events, V carried every look with a natural confidence that couldn't be taught. By 2019, his influence had caught the eyes of major luxury houses. His appearances at events for Celine, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton caused social media frenzies that broke engagement records. But it wasn't until 2022, when he became one of the faces of Celine's Paris Men's Show, that the global fashion industry collectively turned its head and took notice. Taehyung's ability to merge vintage elegance with modern simplicity became his signature. He could wear an oversized trench coat one day and a velvet suit the next, and both would feel like extensions of his soul. Designers began referencing him in their mood boards. Editors noted how his less is more aesthetic carried emotional weight, reflecting his introspective nature. Vogue USA's bold choice when Vogue's editorial board met in late 2024 to select their fashion icon of the year. They were reportedly unanimous. Taehyung was the only choice. According to sources within the publication, Anna Wintour herself was said to have been captivated by V's visual storytelling and called him the definition of timeless modernity. He doesn't wear clothes, Wintour reportedly said during the meeting. He transforms them into art. This sentiment became the foundation for the special issue. Vogue didn't just feature Taehyung. They built an entire edition around his aesthetic world. The issue included a spread of his most talked-about looks from the past 5 years, from his sleek airport fits that set off viral trends, to his delicate embroidered shirt seen at Paris Fashion Week, to the minimalist monochrome outfits he wore during his solo activities. Each image told a story of a man who refuses to conform, who dresses not for applause, but for truth. The photo shoot that defined a generation. The Vogue shoot took place in late December 2024 in a private Manhattan studio. Styled by the visionary Mel Ottenberg, Taehyung was surrounded by some of the world's top creative forces. The theme was duality, a representation of V's ability to embody both tenderness and power, silence and storm. In one image, he stood against a smoky gray backdrop wearing an unbuttoned silk shirt, the light catching the angles of his face like a painting come to life. In another, he sat barefoot in a tailored black suit, his gaze lost in thought, a visual metaphor for the quiet confidence that has always set him apart. Behind the camera, Stephen Klein later described the shoot as a spiritual experience. He said, "V isn't performing, he's being." There's a rare honesty in his eyes that makes the camera love him. Fashion critics react. V changed the game. Within 24 hours of the issue's release, major fashion magazines and influencers echoed the same sentiment. V had redefined fashion storytelling. The New York Times called him a generational muse. Harper's Bazaar praised his elegant defiance. Even British GQ noted that Taehyung's influence has reshaped how male celebrities approach self-expression. Suddenly, men's fashion saw a shift. Sales of silk blouses, flared pants, and vintage-inspired accessories skyrocketed. Designers credited the V effect for the sudden rise in demand for gender-fluid styles. TikTok was flooded with videos of users recreating his Vogue looks under the tag #VInspired. And while fashion houses celebrated the numbers, fans celebrated the message. Taehyung had given permission for everyone, regardless of gender, to express beauty without limits. Global reactions. The world bows to the Kinjin Soul. Major billboards lit up with Vogue's cover image of V, accompanied by messages of pride and admiration. In Paris, stylists called him the muse of the new decade. In New York, stores like Bergdorf Goodman reportedly saw an influx of shoppers asking for the V look. Even celebrities joined the wave. Zendaya reposted the cover on her Instagram story with a caption, "The Standard." Timothée Chalamet commented under a fan edit of V's photo shoot, "Unreal energy." And global supermodel Naomi Campbell publicly praised him, saying, "V has that rare aura, grace with fire." The cultural significance. Beyond fashion, but V's reign as King of Vogue Fashion wasn't just about appearance. It carried cultural weight. As an Asian artist crowned by America's most prestigious fashion institution, his recognition marked a historic turning point. It challenged long-held industry norms and celebrated the diversity that has long been overdue. In interviews following the announcement, Vogue editors emphasized that Taehyung represents a bridge between East and West, a symbol of the global era of fashion where cultural exchange is celebrated rather than commodified. V himself, in his characteristically humble tone, responded to the title with gratitude. "Fashion is another way of expressing who I am," he said. "It's like music. It speaks even when I don't say a word." His words resonated deeply, echoing across online forums and social media platforms. Fans felt pride not just in his achievement, but in what it represented, a victory for individuality, authenticity, and artistry. The King's influence, a movement, not a moment. Since the Vogue announcement, Taehyung's fashion influence has taken on a life of its own. Brands now compete to collaborate with him, but insiders say he remains selective, choosing only projects that align with his values. He reportedly turned down several high-paying endorsements in favor of working on a personal creative project set to debut later this year, a collaboration rumored to blend music, film, and fashion in ways never seen before. Fashion schools around the world have started analyzing the V phenomenon. Professors describe his impact as a case study in cultural crossover, how authenticity and emotional depth can be more powerful than any marketing campaign. In Seoul's Hongik University, a course titled The Art of V, Emotion in Fashion Media, has already gained popularity. What's striking is how Taehyung's approach isn't performative. He doesn't try to dominate the conversation. He simply exists, and the world reacts. Every public appearance becomes an event. Every outfit, a viral headline.